We had decided not to employ a county employee for your office, but there was a budget increase that was decided on. So, I mean, I understand as an elected official, you determine the expenditures within your budget. But if we're not approving an employee, is that increase just a cost of living increase, or what is that dollar increase for?
Are you insinuating I'm paying myself that money?
What money?
Well, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about across the board, we did a 1.4% increase.
Right, and you know what my salary is?
Except for emergency services, and you were deemed under that because of
Right.
precedent set. So we gave more than a 1.4% increase, but that 1.4% increase was supposed to cover everyone's cost of living raise.
Uh-huh.
So the additional money that we budgeted for your office, if it, you were requesting it specifically to go so that you could hire a full-time employee. That was the budget that we received from you. So
right, and you didn't approve that.
we didn't approve that, but we still gave you more than the 1.4% increase. So I'm just questioning how that levels.
I guess I feel like that's a kind of a difficult question to ask because you have to understand what I actually do. I do receive a salary for doing my job. This board has dictated that is part-time position. I receive part-time wages, and that is out of that budget. And with that, all of us, I think, can recognize, maybe yourself, because you're not totally familiar with what I do, that it is not part-time work. We know that, and that's fine. On top of that,
I'm sorry,
in that
but
salary,
could you clarify that? Because are you insinuating that because it's more than 20 hours that you're saying that's where you draw the line between part-time and full-time, and you're saying
no,
you put in more?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You just said that everyone at this table knows, except for me,
What I'm
that
saying
it's
is,
more than part-time. I don't know what that means.
You have dictated that my office is a part-time paid office. That's fine. No matter what, there are statutory duties that I have to do. There is cases that I have to do. This weekend I worked on 3 cases that came in. So just because when you say, 20 hours, I work more than 20 a week. But I'm not coming in here to complain about that. I don't even really care to have that conversation because it's absolutely unproductive. The issue that I think you're insinuating is, I wanted this board and this county to start taking over my office's payments. Like, I don't care if you guys put my office in the courthouse. I do not want to pay for the office of the county attorney. When I came here 5 years ago and we reached an agreement, you're paying me for professional services. I am not going to pay out of my salary to do the office of the county attorney. This board and this county should be paying for those things like you do every other office. And that's all I'm saying. So when there is money that is expended from this county out of my budget that goes to my firm, that is a reimbursement for all of the activities and things that I do for you. But it is also a contract. This is the amount. Whether or not things skyrocket, that is the amount that I'm paid. And I will deal with that consistently. I have dealt with that consistently. And quite frankly, it's more financially feasible for this county to do it that way. Because you're not incurring budget expenditures for capers, you're not expending budgetary expenditures for insurance for any other employees, and I'm fine with that. But that's how we've done it. So when I do my budget, I try to project, because here's the deal, Ms. Lou. If I could predict crime, I would prevent it. I can't predict what a year is going to be. I can only look at what our past years have been, and our past years have been astronomical. I do not think next year will be any different, because that's what we're dealing with. So when you increase time, when you increase money, when you increase employees for the sheriff's office, there's a direct correlation into what happens in my office. So if you give money over there, you need to understand that you need to give money to me. Because in my time is what you're paying for. My expertise, my ability to deal with cases, and I need assistance to do that. Just as an example, we do the unsupervised probation for all of this county. You know, we do the diversion program, which puts money back in. We deal with the crime victim restitution fund, which puts money back in. There's a lot of things that people don't know, or a lot of programs that people aren't aware of that we run. And I'm not asking for any money for that, but there's expenditures out of my budget which directly deal with law enforcement. That's all it deals with, is the expenditure of my office. And to insinuate that I'm like pocketing money or I'm doing something in a way that is inappropriate is just asinine to me, because that's not how I do things. And that's not how I've done things for the last 18 years that I've done this office. So with that, you know, the board, I have my current budget I'm working under, and you can ask Ms. Harlow. I'm very diligent on looking at what my budget is. I have two jury trials that may hit this year that are set, so that's going to be an issue. I'm not spending any money at this point because I want to try to maintain my budget, even though I can exceed it. There are some things that I need to look at, but I'm going to wait until after this year has kind of got to an end to see where I'm at. And then hopefully next year, you know, if we consistently go under budget, then next year when I submit a budget, it's going to be less. You know, I hope that we can continue to lessen our budget. I would love that, but I haven't been able to do that.
So then the question is, if this were to be made a full-time position and the office to be moved into the courthouse for expenses to be paid here, then do you feel that would alleviate the burden of needing a full-time assistant for the county duties?
No, I deserve a clerical staff like every other department. I, among all of them, should have clerical staff. You know, it's not, I do secretarial work too. I answer phones, I do all of that stuff. But I still need someone to help with this. I mean, our phones are probably the most active phones out of all, I mean, maybe the highway department, it seems like this year. But, you know, I mean, our phones have always been active. And especially when I'm dealing with felony cases and things, my issue is I need to deal with public safety. So when we have these situations and we have these issues, and when you say, okay, I try to fit everything within the time frame that you want me to do, but in the end, I am the thin blue line in this community. I am concerned with public safety. So right now, I have 4 cases that are waiting for me to deal with. I have 10 o'clocks hitting, and I go in this weekend to work on them. So if you want to look at full-time, I'll look at full-time. I have been a little resistant to that because we've never done that within this community ever. And it has to be an appropriate amount in order to make sure that I can pay my law school loans and I can do everything that I need to do. That's just me, and I'm no different than anybody else that would be coming into this community wanting to do this job.
So how are records kept for the volume of cases that we have in the county?
I just keep them.
And
I mean, I think I submitted you early on the list of where it is. I mean, I think with my budget or prior to, I submitted something. I know for the entire district is how we keep them. And so there's a paper that shows all of the cases that every county has.
So is that something I can just request from your office, or is that
Yeah,
something
I sent it to you previously. I sent it to this board. So,
this year?
yeah, I did. So, I know I sent it to you guys. I sent it with my budget, and I let you guys know what's going on with it, so.
With your budget, I only received the, you had sent out multiple counties to do a comparison of attorney budgets and salaries.
Mhm.
Yeah, there wasn't anything about case volume.
I can pull it off and email it to you today if you want it to all of you. It shows all of the cases across the district.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I would like to see that.
It is interesting because we have a high volume in Lincoln County. Sadly.
Well, then I think we need to continue discussions about the status of the employment for the county attorney.
I don't know. I've always tried to be very financially reasonable with what I have. And at the end of the day, I do what I need to do. You know, I've tried murder cases, I've tried rape cases, I've tried rape cases regarding children. I've saved babies, I do all that. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what lands on my doorstep, I deal with it. You can ask anyone who deals with me. You can ask him. He knows where I go, and he knows what I do. And at the end of the day, I'll deal with what I have to deal with continually, because that's the promise that I made to this community. So